Categories for men, 3 for women, and something new this year, left-handed divisions. They were here early this morning about 8 o'clock, tipping the scales, paying their $20 entry fee. They've gone through preliminary bouts, quarterfinals, semifinals, and now the final of the featherweight class, 150 pounds and under. This is Dave Patton, the defending world champion. He took some smelling salts before the match, and he's facing a very tired, young, but brave man, Earl Moffmer, there in the dark blue, a logger from Cascadia, Oregon, who went through a very long day, almost 13 minutes, unheard of in the quarterfinals. And Mike, there's the start. He's got to be fatigued, Moffmer.
No question, Diana, especially against a guy like Dave Patton. He's a defending champion. He's a psych type of wrestler. And I'll tell you, when you look at his eyes and the intensity that he has in the competition, mentally, I wonder if that's affecting Moffmer at all, because he's had a long day, and you wonder how much longer he can compete. Look at Patton. Look at the strength in that arm.
I agree. They both weigh 150 pounds. Patton has a slight 2-inch advantage on height. Okay, listen, they're complaining about the grip now. The ref's yelling in to get it straight, and Patton's not happy. Listen to him.
Get a hold of that grip.
I'm giving him a chance to get a better grip.
So much is up to the discretion of the referee in this sport. They decide whether you've slipped unintentionally. And
I'll get a better grip if I want it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Earl Moffmer has very little hand and wrist strength left after his quarterfinal match. 13 minutes or so, his hand was blue with lack of circulation. You can see here, he's way down on Patton's wrist and can't quite get his hand up there in a strong position.
Well, you can see he has him by the wrist. They just called a fault on Earl Moffmer because he did not maintain his grip. A lot of times, Diana, if you see or feel that you're losing your grip, it's a nice, easy way to slip out of it and maybe get a fresh start.
Oh, that's up to the judges. As we said, they try to make the rules as fair as they can, and if they feel it's an intentional slip, they might call the match right there and assign the winner to the other man, but they think Moffmer just tried his best to hang on, and he couldn't do it, but if he has 3 of those, he's out of the match. Here they go for a second try. You can see his grip. It's very difficult again. 2 faults right away. I mean, 2 seconds into this match. One more for Moffmer, and he's going to be down. Now, often they go to a wrist strap situation. They'll actually tie their wrists together, but evidently they have not decided to do that yet here.
You heard Dave Patton suggesting that Earl Moffmer is letting go. And again, it might be a way, as you see Earl's brother ranting and raving, telling him to beat him, but maybe it's a way for Earl to just relax and get a little more composure and maybe get a little strength back. Just take a little more time.
They're at it again. Patton's on the offensive. He's got Earl's wrist pulled all the way back, and there's the match. An exhausted Earl Moffmer must finally succumb after a long day's fighting, and Dave Patton now takes his 4th world title in this division, the featherweights. He's an engineering student from Fairfax, Virginia, and he'll take $650 and the world title back home.
I wasn't ready, Diane.
I'll give you a rematch. Well, the action getting underway is the men's lightweight final, 151 to 175 pounds. We'd have to call the underdog in the match this blonde, 20-year-old from McLean, Virginia, John Brzenk. Even though he upset the defending world champion, Alan Fisher, in the semis, he's the underdog because his opponent, this man, won the world title in this division in 1980, and as a former semi-pro baseball player, he's got plenty of competitive experience. This is John Boninato from Tustin, California.
Diana, the one thing that impresses me about Brzenk is he's a very cool, relaxed type of a competitor. Very confident, not a real emotional, ranting and raving type of competitor. Just does his job while he's out there.
He also trains very hard. Wrestles 3 or 4 times a week and a lot of weight training. Now they've got a slip already. Uh-oh, a lot of booze.
There should be a disqualification. It really looked like Boninato just pulled his hand out. Look at his expression in his face. You know, like when you're a kid and you get your hand caught in a cookie jar and you're trying to get away with something, you know you did something wrong, and you're hoping they're going to give you a second chance. I think it should be disqualification. It really seemed like he pulled his hand out too early.
The referee gave him a fault, saying that it wasn't intentional. He's allowed 3 faults, or any opponent is allowed 3 faults. Then you're out of the match. Brzenk evidently agreed with you, Mike, and thought something was a little fishy. He had a look of disgust on his face. Here they go again.
Hang on to that grip. Don't lose that grip.
And Boninato's hand has slipped away again, and they're giving him a fall. That is 2 faults now. And the parents of John Brzezinski, I'm sure they're as frustrated as he is right now.
There's also some booing from the crowd. There's evidently some feeling that Boninato, when he's in a position of weakness and just about to go down, pulls away intentionally. But the referees have not seen it that way. He's down to 2 faults, and they have resorted now to using the wrist straps. They're going to actually tie their wrists and hands together, and it's really virtually impossible to slip at this point. Most of the wrestlers do not prefer the straps. They don't have the freedom of movement with them, but at least it's going to be a fair match.
And I think that's all John Brzezinski wants at this point. In the first 2 stages of this match, he felt he had the advantage, and Boninato had pulled away. The straps are on. Now we'll see who the better wrestler is.
Brzezinski dips down immediately to try to pull Boninato away from his strength. There's a very good shot of Brzezinski's strength in his arm. It's not just a forearm this sport. The bicep, the shoulder, the back are all involved. And Brzezinski now taking a slight advantage. He's got him about halfway down, Mike.
And it really seems like he's trying to get the last 2 minutes with his shoulder down, putting his weight down. Now they're taking his chin away. I don't think that affected it at all. He feels right now he's in complete control.
He's just an inch away, and that's it. The winner is John Brzezinski. And even after all the controversy, there's still sportsmanship between them.
And a lot of happiness for his parents.
I feel great right now. Just great.
Did you have any idea when you left home in your car to drive all the way out here that you would wind up world champion? You're still a rookie, 20 years old.
Yeah, I felt my chances were pretty good. I've been looking forward for this for about 2 years now. It feels great.
You're so confident. What are you going to do to celebrate?
Get something to drink right now. My mouth's real dry.
There you go. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Here this year, and now getting ready for the 2 men who are obviously deadly serious about the upcoming match. The World Middleweight Final for men between 176, 199 pounds. On the left, John Walker, former champion twice, and on the right, Jack Wynn. His nickname is Popeye, and both of them know that even though these matches can take minutes sometimes, they can also take just a few seconds, and you've got to be ready and focused in full tilt when that go comes.
And already at the start, you can see the advantage that Johnny Walker does have. He's a very quick individual. He's very strong. And right now, in this situation, he seems to be in control of the match.
193 pounds of muscle. Walker trains with a spring device at home. I imagine for some of the bigger competitors here, there's no one to train with, so he has a device that actually simulates the pressure of pushing against an arm. He's got his shoulder curved over now, Mike. He looks like he's trying to close in that last few inches.
Just too much power. That's it, that's it. Pretty obvious, Diana, just too strong.
So 39-year-old John Walker, supervisor for a fast food store in Atlanta, Georgia, returns to take the middleweight title he last won 5 years ago. Now let's get to the action of the women's lightweight final, 135 pounds and under. I earlier asked defending champion Lori Cole if she uses any special training techniques.
Yes, I'm using a hypnotherapist, J.P. Erickson. He's wonderful, and he's helped my psyche. I can't believe how well I'm moving. You know, it's been programmed into my head, and I'm doing what I got to do, and it's working.
What are you programming? And when you step up there to the table, what kind of positive thoughts are you thinking?
I'm thinking to stay relaxed. I'm thinking win, and that's all I'm thinking.
Isn't there more pressure on you as the current world champion?
Definitely. I'm scared to death, just like anybody else up here, you know.
Lori will be on the left. She owns her own body shop in Encino, California, and today she goes against a window builder from Bethel, Washington, Michelle Woods. 2 women who work physical jobs, and Mike, it's a physical sport.
Watch the start right here. It's interesting to see. See how Lori Cole has her legs wrapped around the table. She's trying to get a little leverage. She's trying to get her shoulder rolled over. But I'll tell you, Michelle Woods is a strong, strong girl. It's going to be tough for her to get that advantage and keep it long.
Lori Cole's got her over by about 4 or 5 inches from center at the moment. Now it's come back to top again. It's a good, fair grip. We can say that about the match. No one's complaining. Michelle Woods now moving toward an upset in this match. She's got Lori Cole maybe 3 or 4 inches down, but there's Steve Leslie, former world champion himself, and he happens to be Lori's boyfriend at the moment.
She's done it. She defeated Lori Cole, 3-time champion Michelle Woods right now. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but she's obviously thanking the people at home who made a lot of things possible for her to be there to compete.
And she's very proud of her strong body and her achievement. I mean, that was a very even match and an upset, and Lori Cole is upset.
Well, Diana, you're a 3-time world champion. It's awfully tough sometimes when you lose.
And you build yourself so high up, but she'll get over it. Now, that's something I like to see. Friendship, especially after such tough physical and close battle. Michelle Woods, 24 years of age, I'm sure came here not knowing quite what to expect. It was her first time, but she wasn't intimidated, and she didn't. Mike?
Michelle, did you at all expect, after your last match, it was a tough physical match, a little tired going into this match? Laurie has had fairly easy matches. Were you a little worried about that?
No, I wanted to win. I came to win. I've been working hard for it.
He's well over 6'3". He weighs 460 pounds. As you look at his wife, Sue, you can't imagine the problem she has finding a shirt to fit him because he has a 70-inch chest and a 24-inch neck. I mean, that's big.
That's big, and Clay is bracing himself now for the storm. Doesn't matter how big and strong you are, when you're talking about this weight and this size, it's tough. He's trying to hold on. Cleve's pressing down on him. Winner! And that's it.
You know, of all the competitors, Cleve has to be the most admired. He's always willing to spend time teaching and helping the inexperienced wrestlers.
Well done, Cleve. Once again, world champion.
Thank you very much.
Add another title to your trophy chest back in Georgia. Listen, I'm sure a lot of people back home wonder, when you're this good and nobody else can beat you, who do you practice with?
Nobody except they're out here.
And how do you keep so strong back on the farm?
Doing the right kind of work. Just farming. See, I do all kind of works on the farm. Mechanic work, carpenter work, welding, electrician, whatever.
Well, you've done it again, Cleve. Congratulations. The 176 pounds and over women's heavyweight title went to defending champ Dot Jones from Hillmar, California. We mentioned that this year, for the first time, there were left-handed categories, and if you look down the list of the men's champions here, you'll see Cleve Dean's name once again. He won left-handed and right-handed under the heavyweight divisions. And for the women, there were two double winners. In the middleweight division, the Canadian...